Really honored. That's the first time in 4 years that we've played that video. I went to prison, essentially, because of the lies. If you guys, you remember on the show, the Green Bay sweep was about using the Electoral Count Act of, was it 1887? The one that they changed in the middle of the night. With an omnibus package a couple of years ago, Mitch McConnell, so that never again could that move for a contingent election be used. We had the full constitutional rights to do. In fact, it was the way that it should have been handled. And of course, it was all about the House and the Senate saying for the state legislatures, then they couldn't certify the election. It would go back to the states. It wouldn't be able to be certified. They wouldn't certify President Trump's electors. I was always opposed to that, so that's not going to happen. But they would not be able to certify the Biden electors. It would go into a contingent election to the House as laid out in the Constitution and the Electoral Count Act. And it would, and President Trump would have won, I don't know, 26, 24. Because you vote by state party delegation of congressmen, not individual congressmen. That was all ended by the Judas Pence letter. It came out at 1 o'clock. Remember this letter, which nobody talks about. The letter, the White House, the counsel for the vice president actually reports to the White House counsel. He has a collateral reporting to the vice president. They never ran that letter by anybody. This is the ultimate mortal sin of Mike Pence. He never ran that letter by anybody. Never ran it by the White House. Never ran it by the president. Never ran it by anybody. Just dropped it on people. That's what triggered the. I wouldn't even call it a riot. The event. We had it all set all day to have the House and the Senate go through. I think it was going to be, so there's 6 states. I think they might throw in the 7th state. 2 hours per state, per chamber. 14 is going to be 26, 28 hours of putting forth the evidence. People were prepared. Matt Gaetz was prepared. MTG was prepared. Jim Jordan was prepared. Just go back and think about 4 years ago. After that happened, when President Trump was essentially run out of town a couple of weeks later, they tried to humiliate him. That was the low of the MAGA movement. Everybody abandoned us. Everybody. They all abandoned President Trump. You remember this. You all abandoned MAGA. How many of your MAGA colleagues today, and we welcome people back that are back with us, and I'm not talking about the people that came in at the end and just kind of threw in for the victory. I'm talking about true MAGA people. I think we lost a third of MAGA. It's only about, 50% to 2/3, rule of thumb. Hung tough. The greatest comeback in the history of all politics. You were not just part of it, you were the driving force of it. You must go back for 4 years ago. Remember that day. Remember the disappointment. Remember the heartbreak. Remember how close we were to actually pulling it off. That President Trump had legitimately won the 2020 election, and they could not legitimately certify the usurper.